Hello class, good morning. Class, today we are going to start the fourth chapter, land, air, water and light. Okay, this is the first topic of second unit. So class, here firstly we will discuss some few terms. These are the new terms, and these all terms also I have sent you to write in your copy and learn them. So class, the first word, irrigation. This is the supply of water to farms. Minerals, natural inorganic resource. They are the minerals. Extraction, something to take out. Something is coming out from anywhere. Extraction, to take out. Raw material, material used to make something. This is the raw material. Inflate, to fill air. For example, this word is used for balloon, right? The balloon is inflated when you fill some air inside the balloon. Household, related to house. One word is bulky. This is with large size. The term bulky we can use for this term. International trade, and I hope you understand this word. The trading which is done between the countries. Trade between two countries is international trade. And the last is storehouse, where things are stored. Okay. So now the topic is I'm going to start. The first para, nature has provided many resources on the earth. Nature has provided many resources on the earth. Man utilized these resources with his ability and techniques. To utilize these resources, he has to interact with the environment. Okay? So there is a question is how the man should interact with the environment in a friendly way, in a good way. Then we can use these all resources in a very good way, in a smart way. Interaction with the environment and utilization of resources depends upon the requirement of man. As the requirement of man increases, utilization of resources also increases, which lead to increasing interaction with the environment. It's a very simple thing, class. The very simple line is stated here. In the primitive times, the requirement of man was limited. He could satisfy his needs by fishing, fruit gathering, animal rearing, etc. Later on, as the civilization grew, the demands and the requirements of man also increases, also grow. He started practicing agriculture. When industrialization gathered momentum, the act of mining picked up. The requirement of man kept on increasing with time. Today, man has developed a number of techniques to utilize the natural resources. All right. So to utilize the resources, he has to interact with land, with water, with air, and with light. All these are abiotic elements of environment. These things also we have discussed in the first chapter, biotic and abiotic. So class, a substance or things which has life, they are biotic, and which do not have life, they are called abiotic. Okay, so land, water, air, light, they are the abiotic elements of environment. So the first is land. So here we will discuss what is the utilization of land and how do we interact with land. These all things we will see here, right? And as we know, because we are in practice, we are with in practicing with the utilization of land, with water, with air, right? So, well, the thing we will study here, and so many things already we know, okay? But just this is a chapter by which we can we can understand all things in a more good way, in a more smart way. So the first topic is land here. Okay, the four topics are there. The first point, which is started here, the land. Land, the most important use of land to man is that it provide space for work. Okay, this is the first line. It provides space for to perform any job. Okay, all activities of man take place on land, whether it is agriculture, transport, and industry, housing, mining, etc. Okay, and the next is agriculture and soil. Agriculture requires a large amount of land because most of the population, especially of the developing countries, depends upon the agriculture. Size and shape of agriculture farms is different in hilly areas where land is soft. Okay, it is easy to dig canal for irrigation, but in rocky areas canals cannot be dug, and tanks are used for irrigation. So, as per the requirement, we are using resources for irrigation. Okay, a large number of population practices agriculture. They have to depend upon the type of soil. Most part of food for human comes from the soil. Therefore, it's very valuable resource for man. Okay, it is very important resource for us, and all plants grow in soil. So the first point is transport. Transportation is an important activity for man. Most of the passengers and goods are transported by land. Transport means as the slope of land changes, the method of transport also changes. For example, one example is also given here. In plain areas, roads are very wide with minimum tons, turnings, minimum tons. Whereas in hilly areas, roads are narrow and sharp turns, right? If you go on a hill area, then you will see it. There the roads are narrows with sharp turns. Okay. The second is minerals and industries. Land provides a large number of minerals like coal, petroleum, iron, copper, gold, mica, etc. Most of the minerals are obtained from land. The extraction means to take out. Okay, the word extraction is used here. The extraction of mineral from the land is called mining, right? So the extraction of mineral from land is called mining. This is the point to be learned out. If the question come in your exam, what is mining? So you write it here this slide. Okay. These minerals are used as raw material in the industry. Mining and industry are interdependent. Mining, the mining, extraction of mineral from land. This is the mining, okay. And industry, it's a one place where we perform different types of tasks, okay. Mining and industry, where things are produced, okay. So mining and industry are interdependent on one another. Both are responsible for the modern development. Industry is also responsible for the modern development, and as well the mining. Right. One line is mentioned here. Alloy of gold and silver is called electrum. This term also you learn it class. That one special type of something that's called alloy. Okay. So alloy of gold and silver is called electrum. Okay. So now the next point, actually the topic has four parts. One is land, air, water, and light. So now here we are going to discuss how the air we are using as a natural resource, okay, and what the advantage we are getting from the air. The first use is that we are taking the oxygen. The first thing, it's the most important thing for our survival, okay. So the air is an integral component. Integral, what is the meaning of integral? Which combine, which containing so many other components. It's an integral, okay. It's a summation. So air is an integral component of environment. Man makes variety of uses of air. The first point what I discussed just earlier, that is breathing. Okay, we are breathing with air. Air is the mixture of gases like oxygen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide, hydrogen, etc. Oxygen is in the important gas as it is required for breathing by all human beings and animals. Man has been able to store oxygen gas in cylinder and carry it where oxygen is not available sufficiently, like deep oceans. Divers, they use the oxygen cylinder, and astronaut also use. And mines, if you go inside, if a person go inside the mine, so there is a lacking of oxygen, so there the need for support for oxygen cylinder, so the person carry oxygen cylinder when it go inside the mines and space. Okay, space where there is no atmosphere, there is no environment, there is no oxygen, so we carry the oxygen in cylinder. Okay, astronauts go and carry cylinder, oxygen cylinder. The next is burning. Air is also responsible for burning. For example, if you take a one candle and if you put a glass upon that one, okay, so after some time you will see the flame will vanish. Okay, the flame of candle will vanish. Don't try it at your home. It may be harm you, so don't try it. Just only I'm telling you for your knowledge. So air also help in burning. Fire is also needed by man. It provides warmth in the cold area, and it is also required in the industry, and it is also required for the cooking as well. Okay. So the next is how the air is being we are using the air for the transportation. Air is inflated in the automobile's tire for smooth running of vehicle. Okay, this is a very important part. How the air we are using for transportation. So air we filled in our tires as for the smooth running of vehicle. The next is the sound wave. The sound is going, what I am telling, you are listening. It is recorded here, and after this, it is sending to you. So, how it is happening? It's all due to atmosphere. It's all due to, air, the sound wave, which required a one material medium for propagation, and the material medium is the air here. I am telling you are listening. I am speaking. You are listening. That's all due to as the sound wave is propagating in the material medium, and the material medium is air. Okay, and if you take a one bell, and if you enclose upon one bell jar, and if from that jar, if all the air is expelled out, then the sound wave will not reaches to us because the air is not there. Okay, in a space, if you are speaking, then the next person cannot hear because the sound there is no air, there is no atmosphere, so the sound wave cannot propagate because sound wave required one material medium for the propagation. Okay, so it is mentioned here the sound wave travels in air, therefore we can hear it easily. Next is the wind energy. Fast moving air is called wind. It has force that can be used to generate electricity. Windmills are used to generate electricity in the area where the wind blows continuously with sufficient speed. Alright, class? So, class, after the air, the next point is the water is going to start. You see, we will see here how we're using the water as a natural resources. and what the advantages we are taking from water. The first is around 71%. This point also we have discussed in the second chapter. Around 71% of Earth's surface is covered with water. Okay, and all life is impossible without water. It's a very common thing, and we know it in a very good way. Next is the household purpose. Man makes different use of water at home, like drinking, washing, cooking, right? And irrigation. But just we have discussed just above in the first part in land utilization of land. So irrigation, which is not possible for irrigation, means what? It's a flow of water to form. Okay, so for irrigation, then just irrigation has started in the topic. Irrigation is the major use of water for farmers. Rainfall is not sufficient at all the places. Irrigation is a useful method to provide timely water to the crop, and the canals, tubes, and tanks are popular method of irrigation. Okay, class. Next is how the water is used in the industry. Industries is also used in many industries. Water is also used in many industries like textile, iron, steel, paper, etc. Okay, in industry, water is using with the different purposes. Okay, so it's a very important thing. The next is transportation. I mean, how the water is using for the transportation for the ship, for the cargo which is going and coming, right? Import export is going on through the sea routes. So it's all due to water. Rivers are often used as a means of transport. Wooden logs. Water transportation is the cheapest means of transportation. Okay. So with a small cost, we can transfer our goods. Ships are used to carry heavy and bulky materials. Most of the international trade is done through ships. It's we know the cargo which is done, which is transferred by the ships through the sea routes from one country to another. Oceans are the storehouses of many resources like fish, minerals, and energy. Large amount of petroleum is buried in the ocean floor. Okay, class. So now the next class, the last para, that is the tidal energy. Okay, tidal. You know the tides is formed in the oceans and sea. So what the energy we are getting there, so this is the tidal energy. Okay, so tides result in the rise and fall of sea level, which can be harnessed to produce electricity. It is a one process actually. There is a one we attach a one fin is there. As the water level rises, the water is stored in some place, and when the water flows back to the sea, then through that what the fins we have placed there, that fins moves, and when the fin moves, then dynamo is movement. Okay, so with the help of dynamo, which convert the mechanical energy to electrical energy. As in this way, we take the electricity from tidal energy. Okay, tides, when tides go and store just water is stored in some high level area. Okay, in high altitude. So that fins also move. When the water moves back to the sea, then that fins fans also move, and as the fan moves, so the dynamo also move, and with the help of dynamo, that electrical energy is converting. Mechanical energy is converted to the electrical energy. So as in this process, we getting the electrical energy from tidal energy. It is a one process class. In the higher study, you will study in a more vast way. Okay. So class, here I am ending my class here. Up to the one topic is left here. Utilization of light. Okay, as a natural resource in the environment. How the light we are using. Okay, as a natural resource. So we will discuss in the next class, and as well we will do the question and answer. So far class you learn, you read this chapter, whatever I have explained you, whatever I have taught you here. So you read it, you read this topic, and the required things to learn it. The some few definitions are there, as like a mining, and some new terms are there. You learn them, okay? And we will see in the next turn. Goodbye, class.